Alright, this is a part 2 CVT lesson for Dominic. And what did I call this? It's called Beginner and Beyond. This one we're starting in on page 3, example number 8, and the things this focuses on is power chords, etc., which is some altered chords, palm muting, songs, and eighth notes. Now, eighth notes in music, I tried to approach this a fun way for you, so you don't have to think all textbook through this, but in a bar of music or a measure, when you see actual music, it's separated by bars or measures. And at the beginning of the music, you'll see like a C or a 4/4, which stands for common time. In other words, you would be counting to 4 in each measure. Now this can help you, when it comes down to counting in music. Some people can just naturally get it, other people have to count it. So that's explained in this one. It's an eighth note rhythm. Let me play it first and then we'll break it down. Okay, so we have a little faster. The count for counting eighth notes is 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and we're going to use that's one measure right there. We would do that for 3 more measures, so this would be 4 measures or 4 bars. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Okay, so before we start, we're going to set up for this E5 power chord, which is 7A, 9D. Now you've done enough CVT lessons with me. You hear me repeat a lot of stuff, but it's important. I'd rather repeat it than assume you're already doing this. But to separate, even though we're palm muting and we shouldn't have any bleed through, I want you to palm mute the open E 4 times, and then we're gonna hit 7A, 9D. That's our E power chord 4 times. So your palm is doing this. Now I'm lifting it higher than a guitar player typically would, so I want you to see, but all you gotta do is get it off of there. Keep it in this area. When you go to hit the power chord, don't go, then you may forget, so keep it in this general area when you're playing. It's pretty straightforward, solid rhythm, and I think you're gonna do fine with this. So after that, all I'm doing is changing the secondary note of the chord from a 7/9 to a 7/8. You can experiment with fingerings on these chords as well. 7A and 8D. Same thing though. Now, oh, what I forgot to say was the index, when I go to hit the chord, is just touching underneath that low E. Like I said, we're palm muting, but you can still have notes ring through. If you want to keep the separation between the two concepts, then that's how you want to do it. I suggest you do it anyways, because all guitar players that have been playing for a while do that. It's a good habit to get into. Now I'm lifting the pressure off the power chord when I go back to the palm muting. You don't want to keep it. Silence it just by lifting up a little bit. Doesn't have to be much, and then you got to clear off the low E. The next one is 7A, 10D. Same thing though. See that little movement? To deaden the E. And then right back to the first power chord, 7, 9, AD. So the only changing notes are this thing going on with both hands, right? So when I go to hit the power chord, I'm not palm muting. This hand comes up and this one kind of pushes in. They're doing opposites, kind of. Different ways to break it down. Alright, so for number 9, we have a lot in here. Alternate picking, songs, power chords, solos, key of E minor, 16th notes, palm muting, and common time signature, which is 4/4. Alright, so it's alternate picking, so you may, and the way you would count 16th notes, remember earlier I was talking about a measure of music, in common time counting to 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Those are eighth notes. 16ths are double that. In music, you count them 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E, and the same amount of time has transpired, right? We just threw in twice the amount of notes. Everything still lands. The eighth notes are still there. 1E and well, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E, and the quarter notes would be the 1, 2, 3, 4. They're still in the same spot. Karate chop. Alright, so on this, same chord that the last example used, 7A, 9D, and you can use index and third or index and fourth. And you want to go palm muted, open E, down, up, down, up. Usually, you know, if you're playing 16th notes, they're faster. That's where you're going to run into that type of thing. Let me play the progression first. Wait, let's try that again. I gotta look ahead of myself here. Oh. Right? Let's try it again. Is that the whole thing there? No, it isn't. Or is it? Hold on here. Okay, it's on 2 pages, but the whole thing will be... So, that's why I put solos in there, because that has some elements of soloing, right? So back to this. Down, up, lift the palm, hit the power chord. 1E and a 2E and you'll see the pause in there, but I wrote the count of the 16th notes so you know that takes as much time as... Okay, do the same thing, but move the chord over to a D power chord. That's 5, 7 AD. No, I'm sorry, up to 10 and 12 AD. Also, when I hit the chord, you can see I'm muting underneath the low E again for all this. Then go to the opens again to the 9/11, and then move it back to 8/10. Start with the opens again. So you got 4 opens and a power chord. That's your concept. Then the second half starts over, but now we move over to 5, 7 AD. Now we move to C, which is 3, 5 AD. And then got to turn the page here, page 4, and we have. So if you went from the C power chord, 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and we're playing all those 16th notes in there. Alternate picked as well. 0, 2, 3, 5 on the low E, palm muted, starting with the downstroke. But it is alternate picked. Okay, 2A. It's gonna feel weird as a down, but that's how we roll in here. And then 5, 3, 2 on the low E, up, down, up. It's all palm muted. Speed is the last thing to worry about here. Get it at a good tempo. Maybe use a drum machine if you got one. Alright, we move on to number 10. This is palm muting songs, power chords, speed, eighth notes, and half notes. So this one goes, same starting as far as chords. 2 open E's. Let me play it first. Then start it all over. So what I did, we're starting on 7A, 9D again, palm muting the open E twice, all down strums, hit the power chord twice, touching underneath the low E, right? 1 and 2 and. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Do the same thing on the 3rd and 5th fret AD. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Same thing on 5, 7. And the last chord, I call it a flatted power chord, but 6A, 9D. Use your 1st and 4th finger, do the same thing. And then I threw in the half notes for you here. So now we would do the same thing, but only hit the power chord once and let it ring to cover where you would normally play the second one. So it'll sound like this. Wait, here we go. Where is it? Where is it? So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So when you hit the power chord, you're going 2 and. Before it was, now it's. Same thing on these. All right. Number 11, palm mute, songs, power chords, 8th notes, key of A minor. And the last one was key of E minor. This one is A minor. Most of them I did E minor. That's real common for metal and rock. But I did switch them up on a few. And whole notes. Whole notes gets 4 counts. So here's what this one sounds like. A little more involved, a little more percussive, I'd say. But it goes... wait. The whole note takes the whole measure. It gets 4 counts, but you only hit it once. 1, 2, 3, 4. That comes in at the end. So we're going 5D, 5G, index finger, bar, or you can use 2 fingers. Keep this consistent. You want to try to keep it where you're not pausing. 1 and 2. You open A twice. That's where our palm mutes are coming from. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Once you get that beat, there's 8 things there. You're going to apply them to the 4th fret, 3rd fret, and then the 2nd fret is our half note. The palm muting may give you a little issue. 1, 2, open A's palm muted, then we hit the chord here. And look, I'm touching the A string this time to make sure it's separated. Do that twice. And then go 1 open A palm muted, and then once on the chord. A lot of people tend to go like... Don't do that. Keep it rolling. You'll see the 8th notes written down to remind you of that. Then go to the 4th fret, do the same thing. 3rd, 2, 3, 4. So 5s, 4s, 3s, and 2s. Okay, that one might give you a little more of an issue. Number 11 is continued on page 5. So all I did on this was really highlight what a whole note does. 5th fret, D and G. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. So that's connected with it. 4, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. Number 12. Palm muting, songs, alternate picking, power chords, 16th notes, and quarter notes. So we're going to alternate pick. This one's going to sound like this. So down, up, palm muted, open E. That's going to lead us into the 3E, 5A. One thing you could do in advance is press the 5A down, since we're not playing it yet. And then all you're going to do is drop this first finger here. Okay, so this one's going to be counted like this. 1E and a 2E and a 1E and a, or 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a. So I'm doing the same thing, but I'm moving it to fret 2 and 4. Then again to fret 1 and 3. Then again with open E, 2A. So your chords are... Okay, next time around I changed it up, doing what's called a root and a third through this. Start it the same way, and then go 3E, 2A. Set this down in advance on the 2A if you want, and just go. Repeat it, but go 2-1 on the EA. The next one, repeat it. Go 1E, open A. And the last one, open E, 2A. Be careful on these. Your angle is up to where you're not muting the underneath string. That's why I actually made this example like this. Because power chords, it's easier to get away with it. The way the finger layout is. These, it's a little more, it's, you know, this one can very easily mute out that you don't want it to. That's that one. Let's see. After that, number 13 is pull off songs, solos, key of D minor, hammer-ons, and scales. And it goes like this. Could add some palm muting. Once you get the concept, man, it's the same. 7D, pick pull to an open twice. And then pick the 7E or 7D, hammer to 8, pull off to 7, and pull off to open. Grabbing the underneath string so you don't go, right? Listen for clarity in there. You don't want any slop in it. Do it twice. Same thing on the 8 and 10 on the D, same concept. So 8 open, 8 open. Same thing on 5 and 7 on the D. And then same thing on 3, 5, but we're not going to repeat it. And then same thing on 2 and 3, but not repeating it. So those are just one time through. Try it on other strings. All right, moving along. Page 6 is this. Oh wait, we already did that one. That's the continuation of it. Number 14, A minor pentatonic scale, hammer-ons and solos. You might already know this, but it's pattern 1, A minor pentatonic, pick and hammer each string. 5/8. So picking the 5s, hammering the others. 5/8, 5/7, 5/7, 5/7, 5/8, 5/8. And move them around. Or you can go. Move them in 2s, right? Next one, 15. This is for alternate picking and speed picking, basically. A good one to work towards. I'm going to go to my neck pickup on this. And that is 2, 3, or 12, 13, 15 on the B. Down, up, down. And then grab an upstroke on 12E. And then go 15, 13, 12 on the B, down, up, down. Or 15, 13. So it's down, up. And then you're repeating it. And then slowly try to speed it up. Another thing you can do is kind of emphasize that upstroke on the high E. Anyways, that's one that really helped me working on the speed picking and stuff. Let's go to part 3 video.